Alrighty guys, and welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I am reviewing Star Wars Issue 20, Dangerous Lessons, which was written by Charles Soule with art by Marco Castiello, and was released on January 12th, 2022. So, which I thought was another good issue. Once again, just, follows Luke. In the last issue, he found a Jedi holocron, which contained a message from Yoda. So this issue starts with him listening to the end of that message, which afterwards he tells R2 that the lesson Yoda was telling in the message, Yoda had already taught him it on Dagobah. And so, we see, Luke disappointed by that. But R2 eventually gets him to kind of open it again to see if there's maybe another hidden message. So Luke does, and there is another message from Yoda, talking about divergences in the Force in certain places, which are, have divergences and are strong in the Force. Yoda mentions the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and also Jeddah, but he mentions a place called the Living Sea of Gazian? I don't know. So Luke heads to that planet, and he finds the Living Sea, which is like a bunch of rocks or something. So he heads down in, and then eventually falls unconscious, and he wakes up in this like weird red place where he meets a Jedi named Elzar Mann, who's around during the High Republic era. And, Elzar Mann has appeared in several of the High Republic stories. But Luke asks him what the place is and if it's like a vision or something like that. Which Mann explains that it, isn't a vision, that the place is like a living organism. And I guess it takes an imprint of every person's mind who visits. Very weird. But Mann had came there looking for guidance after he had a vision in the Force, which he describes as of fire and fear, which I assume he's talking about the vision we see him have at the end of the novel, of the Jedi. But Luke asks him if it helped, going here and whatnot. But Mann doesn't know, because the imprints only know everything what came before for that person, and not anything what happened after that person left. But Luke tells Elzar about his struggles with the Force, and dealing with being the only hope for the Jedi Order, which, Elzar then kind of tells Luke about the Jedi Order, he knew during the High Republic era, and just how the Order has been different things over time, and, the Jedi have had different roles in, depending on what the Order is at that time, and whatnot. And so, I guess talking about how the Jedi have to adapt to what the Order is, and sometimes the Order is nothing like it is for Luke right now. But, Elzar then tells Luke that, he doesn't have to be a Jedi. And then, there are other paths he could go down. But he tells Luke to choose the path he finds right. But, and then you see them back in that red area. And Elzar, tells Luke to stay for a while, which Luke says he's gonna get going. And then Elzar transforms into Luke, telling real Luke to come back anytime. But, we then see Luke wake up in that, this sea of rocks, I guess, where he finds a bunch of bodies of dead Jedi who I guess did stay. But he does find a skeleton with the book, which he takes. And then he finds his way to the surface, where he meets up with R2 again, and, Luke talks about the book, and he mentions that he thinks it's an invitation, and that's where the issue ends. I do wonder what he means by the book being an invitation. I guess we'll find out eventually. But like I said, I really enjoyed this issue. It's definitely a slower issue, mainly with Luke talking to Elzar Mann, just about the Jedi Order and whatnot, which I really, really enjoy all that. It was cool to have Luke talk to Elzar Mann, a Jedi from a completely different, era of the Jedi Order and just Star Wars. So yeah, but also interested with this book and what happened with that. I do think it might be one of the, the sacred Jedi texts we see Luke, and then later Rey have in the sequel trilogy. So, it looks like a lot like, one of them. So I'm thinking it might be. So definitely interested there. A little disappointed that Luke doesn't learn much more from the holocron from Yoda, but I do think that was maybe also kind of done on purpose to kind of have the reader feel Luke's disappointment, just a bit stronger. Because, as a reader, we're, wanting Luke to learn more from Yoda, but then it's just not the case, and Luke is disappointed, so we also feel that disappointment. So if that was the case, I do definitely like that. But the art from Castiello was solid also. I don't remember if I talked about that in the last review, but I liked it. So all in all, I really enjoyed the issue. My grade, I'm gonna give it an A-. So yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. My next Star Wars comic review will probably be the Bounty Hunters issue 19, I think it was, or 20. Issue 19. I think it's 20 actually. Issue 20. So you can check that out then. But in the meantime, you can check out my other comic reviews and everything else I do. But I've been Sarzi, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.